Strong field now, with Sajir being taken out for the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Stakes, the old sprint. Group 1 of the meeting, and they fly out of the stalls. Grand Grey jump better than normal. Flora of Bermuda leads over towards the far side. Lazzat and Inisherin are prominent, and also going forward Storm Boy. Satono Rev in the green and yellow colours will race standside just behind the leaders with Grand Grey, who races in fifth. Elite Status and Night Eyes a midfield with Anaf towards the tail early on. Iberian Jasur, and held up as well towards the back of the field. Great Generation. So out in the lead over on the far side, it is Lazzat who takes the field along, attended by Top Gear in the white armlets, then Inisherin. Grand Grey just behind the speed run to freedom. The near-sided Storm Boy being shadowed by Satono Rev, who moves to the left-hand side under Joe Moreira and tries to improve as they head down towards halfway. Lazzat leads over on the far side with Top Gear and Inisherin. Satono Rev improving on the near side for Japan, given a shake of the reins by Joe Moreira to come after Lazzat. France leads from Japan. Lazzat and Satono Rev as they enter the final furlong. Lazzat still has the lead, but Satono Rev is still throwing down the challenge. Lazzat holding on, however, from Satono Rev. Lazzat out in front will turn away the Japanese raider. Lazzat won the QE2 from Satono Rev. Flora Bermuda behind those Night Eyes. Jasur rattled through with Iberian. Inisherin was next to cross the line with Run to Freedom all the way back to Anaf and Top Gear. Lazzat, another winner on the week for Wathnan. They're fifth. Jerome Reynier and James Doyle team up and repel Satono Rev as France saw off Japan, the pair pulling clear. Wathnan in third as well with Flora of Bermuda. Big run by Night Eyes, who's come home in fourth place. Jasur rattled home to possibly just miss fifth with Iberian. Inisherin found it all happening too fast. Lazzat, weak in the market, has hit the line strongly, turned at 9-2, drifted to 6-1 10 minutes before the off, but it is Lazzat who turned away the persistent challenge of Satono Rev.
Some week for Wathnan, a fifth winner, and they've now had first and third in the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Stakes. When we pick it up, it's a clash between two countries, Jason, that have never won this race. The red cap for France, over on the right, the Japanese Satono Rev.
And you're asking who has had the best run in, because they seem fairly equal. There was a smaller group up towards the standside rail, maybe 3-4 runners, I feel that it was, and you thought that the launch from the Japanese raider was coming, but Doyle had committed and maybe just pinched a little advantage.
I think you're right. He got a slightly better lead into the race, and Satono Rev really had to kick away from his small group, which he did. He showed a really good acceleration, but just wasn't quite enough to catch Lazzat. Lazzat, we know, can stay further, so they're able to really kick him on and use his stamina going to the line. Watch Flora of Bermuda when we watch another replay. She ran on well to finish third, having been buffeted around a little bit, but the first two have put a good few lengths on the third.
First two miles clear, Jason.
Yeah, and got Flora Bermuda puts a real good solid level to the form, if you like, back in second spot. But she's produced. Inisherin didn't produce. He was flat out from some way down, possibly ground, I don't know.
I'm not sure, but he was really disappointing. A bit gutted about that. He was a strong fancy of mine. But isn't it so good that our international runners, for the French, they've had a frustrating week. The ground's been too quick for so many of their runners. This horse, Lazzat, has handled it well. Back down to a stiff 6 furlongs, not a problem. And Doyle was making sure he was going to make it a test on the front end, and he committed nice and early.
It's Wathnan celebrating again, and what a difference a couple of days makes. Jerome Reynier, we read his quotes this morning, absolutely fuming off the ride that Factor Cheval got earlier in the week, and now the horse is loose. Lazzat. Hopefully James Doyle is okay. Clearly still full of beans and setting off down towards Swinley Bottom. James Doyle celebrating. Let's see what happened.
Oh, no, with the sheet. Oh, he's had a howler with the sheet. It's not a matador. That wasn't a matador moment.
Well, I didn't expect to do a walk-back interview like this with James Doyle. But James, you were just caught unaware while celebrating, was that right?
Yeah, his trainer flashed the sheet at him and he whipped round. But yeah, well, what can you say? I can't take any credit for this at all. Jerome and his team, Kristen told me all about him. His jockey from before, his young jockey in France, did a great job bringing him through the ranks. He also rode him in Australia when he ran such a good race in the Golden Eagle. So we had all bases covered, and I have to say Jerome was very confident, very confident. He said all week, don't worry about the ground, everything's fine. We mapped the pace out in the race, and we just thought, if I end up leading, I end up leading. He said, don't worry, he won't stop. So it worked out perfect.
Could you keep an eye? Could you know that Satono Rev was coming at you all the time?
Oh yeah, I could feel him coming all right, yeah. I could feel him coming, but he won't get a more genuine horse than this. He really pinned his ears back when he joined me, and he was always going to fend him off.
This is a cracking week for you. I think you've equalled your best Royal Ascot tally.
Okay.
And the smile on your face since you rode that first winner has been there all week.
Yeah, I mean, it does help when you get a double on the first day. That does make things, you can just relax into it. It doesn't take, if I had £1 for every time someone said to me, oh, that's it, the pressure's off. But like, it's completely the opposite, you know. Especially with this fella today, I thought he was my banker of the week, which I feel a bit guilty because we've obviously only picked the horse up a couple of weeks ago, and obviously I landed on him. But I have to say a huge thank you to all the team. Christian, the young boy over in France, whose first name I'm not sure, Omani, I think his surname is. He's ridden him through his career, and obviously Jerome. So big thanks to everyone.
Well, I'm going to let you go, and hopefully he'll be back soon, and we can locate him somewhere in the wilds of Berkshire.
People need to be very careful. You've seen how far away he is. This is some lap of honour, by the way. Feels like it's at the Olympics. There aren't too many people to cheer him, and just people need to be careful.
I think luckily he seems quite a laid-back type. He obviously got spooked by the sheet, and he got rid of his jockey and thought, well, I'm going to go for a little canter. But he's not going flat out, Meg, is he? He's fine. He's just having a little hack around looking for his mates.
No, but I don't know if it was one of the groundsmen or team from the veterinary or what, but someone just tried to grab him when he broke back to a walk or trot, and he was having absolutely none of it. Sort of whip round again, and off he goes. Hopefully he'll meet up with James Doyle fairly shortly.
And what I was explaining just before then about the trainer, after Prince of Wales described Flavien Prat's ride of Factor Cheval as the worst ride given to one of my horses. He'll be a happier man now.
Well, here's Joe Moreira, the Magic Man. Nearly pulled off every magic trick there, Joe. You must have thought you might get there.
Yeah, no doubts about it. We went into the race with a lot of confidence. The horse was feeling so well with himself. Unfortunately, we bumped into a very good horse today, which halfway through I thought I had him done, but he just had another kick, kept attacking the line. I was closing up the gap, but you know, we just bumped into a good horse today, and I still got to say, my horse ran really well, and I can't complain about it.
You know how important it is for everyone at Ascot that a Japanese horse does really well here, because they want more and more of the international competition. In many ways, Lazzat was the one horse you wouldn't have wanted there, would he? Because he stays really strongly.
Well, his form indicates that he's been winning very impressively at his home ground. But you know, everyone else traveling here, we thought we had a really good crack, and unfortunately we bumped into a really good horse. As I said, I just can't complain. My horse tried his very best.
And you are the Magic Man. You ride all around the world. Everyone wants you on their horse. Give us just an idea for you of riding in front of this great crowd, this great grandstand.
First of all, there is no magic. There is hard work into it, you know. It's always a pleasure being involved into such a really amazing festival like this one. Unfortunately, I didn't have many other options, opportunity to riding other horses in other races as well. But had a chance to ride Satono Rev in the sprint. We ran second. Of course, it's not the best of the results, but I still got to be happy with that.
Very well done. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thank you.
So more help is coming. James Doyle, of course, the winning jockey, can't weigh in because the saddle is still on the winner, Lazzat. Talking of jockeys, mixed race for the French. Poor old Sagir pulled out. Desperate luck for the André Fabre team. Stéphane Pasquier spoke to us after Top Gear's performance in the race. He said both front shoes went flying. So the horse had no chance from early in the race, which is bad luck for Christopher Head. And that's why you need to be careful. We'll keep you posted on what's happening here. In the meantime, Ruby, the front two pulled